Please welcome Peter Rothen.
Thank you very much, Caroline. Well, according to the schedule that has been distributed on the tables, I think I should already be through. Don't think that I will limit myself to 1 minute. I had been given 15 minutes and I thought I'll take 30, so be prepared. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome. This is a great evening and I'm so honored to be here with you. And this has also been a great week. A week of important events, anniversaries, and of great speeches in the US as well as in Europe. On Monday, the 57th inauguration of a US president with, in my view, another brilliant speech by President Obama. On Tuesday, the whole French government and numerous members of the French Parliament were in Berlin to commemorate, together with the German government and Parliament, the 50th anniversary of the signing of the Treaty on German-French Friendship, the so-called Élysée Treaty. On Wednesday, British Prime Minister Cameron gave his long-awaited speech on European Union membership. Actually, almost exactly 40 years after the UK joined the EU on January 1st, 1973. A very remarkable, very profound speech, which I can only recommend for reading. This speech might lead to a more fundamental discussion on the European project, also outside the UK. But it might also be the beginning of the end of British membership in the EU. Something, by the way, Germany certainly doesn't want to happen. And finally, yesterday, Governor Brown's State of the State address in Sacramento. A very untypical speech for the governor, because it lasted almost 20 minutes, whereas his former addresses always stayed well below 10 minutes. But the governor had good reasons to talk longer than usual, because he had good news he wanted to share. Let me just quote his last sentences. Quote, "This is my 11th year on the job, and I've never been more excited. 2 years ago, they were writing our obituary. Well, it didn't happen. California is back. Its budget is balanced, and we are on the move. Let's go out and get it done." Unquote. So, ladies and gentlemen, in that line of important events, today, GABA's 10th anniversary gala, with great speeches coming up after my words of welcome. What a week. Before Daniel and Dirk will tell you more about GABA's past and future, let me just make 3 brief remarks. 1, thank you, GABA, for what you've done in the past 10 years. If my understanding is correct, GABA came into being to fill a void that had developed after the former German-American Chamber of Commerce had closed down, and before our present official representation of German trade and industry had opened its doors. You, the founding members of GABA, did a very un-German thing. Instead of calling for the government to do something, you simply did it yourself, just in the California spirit expressed by the governor. You went out and got it done. But you didn't set up your own Chamber of Commerce of the Silicon Valley or another formal institution. You created an informal network run only by its members and with practically no overhead. And right from the beginning, you wisely not just created a club for Germans working in the Bay Area, but a sort of international organization where Americans and other Europeans would be just as important as the Germans. This concept has proven extremely successful. You have grown rapidly over the years, and today you represent a unique mix of decision makers from all major industry branches in the Bay Area. Congratulations, and thank you for that. 2, thank you for what you not only do to yourselves, but for Germany and for German-American business relations in the Bay Area, and also for being such a great partner for the consulate and myself. Of course, GABA's primary goal is to further the business interests of its members, which is perfectly all right. It's your time, your money, and to be guided by business interests ensures that you focus your energy on useful things. But the good thing, from my point of view, is that your usefulness is much bigger than the sum of the interests of your members. By having become such a big pool of highly qualified, highly specialized experts, whose common denominator is, in my view, that almost each one of you is somehow connected to business relations between California and Germany or Europe. You have become a unique resource of know-how. As such, you have become an invaluable complement to Germany's traditional institutional setup to further bilateral business relations with a third country. Embassies and consulates on the one hand, and the chambers of commerce on the other. In the Bay Area, through you, we now have not only these 2 elements in our toolkit, but with you, we have a highly efficient network of experts from which we can draw. I just said we, because I have done that repeatedly when I needed an expert panel to inform delegations from Germany on the newest trends in the Silicon Valley. And I've always been able to rely on your support. So much so that I today cannot imagine what life would have been like for me without GABA. If you wouldn't already exist, it would certainly be high time to invent you. It has been a great pleasure and a privilege to work with you, and I specifically want to thank you for that. 3, what way ahead? I think you're just fine, and you could go on as you have done so far as I'm concerned. But, and I suppose that the present leadership of GABA will tell us probably a little bit more about it, 10 years is probably a good time to reflect if your business model can be further improved. One important thing you have done already, otherwise I would have recommended it to you for sure, is to fix your name. As far as I remember, when I started out here, it was just GABA. And I always thought that was silly because it was not the German-American Business Association, but the German-California Association. But you fixed that. Now, as I've seen, and I want you all to remember that, it's GABA of California. That's good. Remember that. No longer GABA. What else? Well, don't ever think that I will give you particular advice on the way ahead. Just the following. Keep your biggest strength, your informality and your member-driven network character. While I believe that it is right for you to open up for members from other EU countries, I think that you should keep a special German-American flavor. And don't ever be afraid of your German roots and links. Luckily, Germany now has a very good name in the world and in the US in particular, especially in business. It's a quality brand. Keep it. Be ambassadors of German know-how and values in the Silicon Valley. And lastly, stay friends with us. Know that the consulate and my residence are always open for you. We're very proud of you and look forward to continue the great relationship that we have enjoyed so far. Ladies and gentlemen, in the spirit of the inauguration speech with which I started, let me finish by saying, my fellow GABA members, thank you. All the best for the next 10 years, and have a great evening.